For the last 10 consecutive years, the Bundesliga has been dominated by one team and one team alone. From 2012 to 2022, Bayern Munich have won the Meisterschale by an average of 13.8 points a season and have gone the last decade virtually unchallenged. Until now. Erste FC Union Berlin, the team with the smallest stadium in Germany, third lowest wage bill in the league, and the least amount of experience in top-flight football, has been going toe-to-toe with Bayern Munich all season. They're the Leicester City of Germany. Whether it's financially, infrastructurally, and most importantly on the pitch, the underdogs are a statistical outlier that we need to be talking about. Make way for a new fairy tale as we learn how Union Berlin are breaking the Bundesliga. Welcome back, guys. You're watching the Sideline Starters and my name is Andy, first team all sideline. Drop a like to help us keep growing, and without further ado, let's get started. On the rare occasion that Bayern aren't 10 points clear by February, it's usually because a team with either rich history or rich owners have stepped their game up. While Union Berlin have neither. They were promoted from the Zweite Bundesliga in 2019 for the first time in their history, becoming the first Bundesliga club hailing from the former East Berlin. The club had come a long way since playing in Germany's 4th division back in 2004, as the club's footballing license was paid for by supporters participating in state-funded blood drives, in a campaign famously coined Bleed for Berlin. Union finished their first Bundesliga season in 11th place, improved to 7th in their second, and climbed to 5th in their third, as they qualified for the Europa League for the first time. Their rise was nothing short of miraculous, as the club had no business finishing above the likes of Borussia Mönchengladbach and Wolfsburg, and 1 point below new heavyweights RB Leipzig. And when we take a closer look at the numbers, you'll see what I mean. Since being promoted, Union Berlin supporters have made a fortress of the Stadion an der Alten Forsterei, which fittingly translates to Stadium at the Old Forester's House. It's the oldest stadium currently in the Bundesliga, having opened its doors way back in 1920. On top of that, it's also the smallest, with 2013 refurbishment bringing maximum capacity to 22,012 people, dead last in the Bundesliga. For comparison, Borussia Dortmund Signal Iduna Park boasts the largest capacity, hosting 81,365 supporters, while Bayern Munich's Allianz Arena comes in second at 75,024. Union's neighbors and eternal rivals Hertha Berlin continue a disparity in third place, with a capacity of 74,649. As the top 3 stadiums in the league can house more than triple the supporters that Union's can, and this has a sizable impact on Union's economic ceiling. As their matchday income, the money Union make from ticket sales, merchandise, and concessions at their stadium will never be comparable to the league leaders. This leaves us with 2 other potential revenue streams, commercial and broadcast. Commercial revenue refers to money earned from advertising as well as partnerships with other brands. Think Real Madrid's jersey sales or Barcelona's new Spotify sponsorship. When we look at the Bundesliga shirt sponsorship revenue from the 2020 season, we find that Wolfsburg's deal with Volkswagen was the most lucrative, coming in at 70 million euros, while Bayern Munich and Telekom, aka T-Mobile, come in second at 45. Leipzig's Red Bull and Dortmund's Evonik and 1&1 are tied for third, raking in 35 million each, while Union Berlin's deal with real estate company Around Town was valued at 2.5 million euros, tied for the lowest value in the Bundesliga. And that's just shirt sponsor money. We haven't even accounted for total commercial revenue at all. Partly because Bayern's is so astronomically high, while Union's is impossible to find on the internet. In 2022, Bayern Munich earned an astounding 378 million euros in commercial revenue, while Dortmund earned 174 million, putting them in 10th. No other Bundesliga club would even break the top 20. Leaving us with broadcast revenue, or the money that clubs receive through the distribution of TV rights. Think NBC's $2.7 billion deal with the Premier League. Last season in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich earned the most in broadcast revenue, bringing in 90 million euros, with Dortmund behind them with 79. And as expected, Union only received 39.4 million, ranking in 14th place out of the Bundesliga's 18 teams. And Union's wage bill reflects these financial realities, as the club only spends just over 16.1 million euros a year on player salaries, the third lowest in the Bundesliga, compared to Dortmund, who spend just over 100 101 million, and Bayern Munich, who spent over 180. Which finally brings us to Union's players. Let's start with their main man up top, Geraldo Becker. The Surinamese striker possesses blistering pace and clinical finishing, while also maneuvering around the box rather than inside of it, as evident by his heat map this season. So far, Becker has a total of 7 goals in 21 Bundesliga appearances, while providing 4 assists in the process as well. And I know what you're thinking, how can a team be level on points with Bayern Munich when their top goal scorer only has 7 goals? A total that lands 13th on the scoring table. But the answer is pretty straightforward. Union Berlin are overperforming their statistics by an absolutely unsustainable margin. Becker has scored 7 league goals from an expected goals total of 2.5, meaning that he's overperforming his expected goal output by 180%. For context, even the most efficient strikers in the world aren't close to that level, with Erling Haaland overperforming his XG by 43%, and Harry Kane outperforming his XG by 29%. And the overachieving applies to the whole team too. The entire squad has scored 34 total league goals from an expected 23.5, meaning that the team as a whole is scoring 44% more goals than expected, which is clear of several other league leaders in Europe, including Napoli at 28%, PSG at 10%, and Arsenal at 8. And that's not a knock on any of those teams. They create so many chances and convert even more. It's just a testament to how clinical Union Berlin's finishing has been this year. And they're just as efficient in defense, conceding 24 goals all season, the second fewest in the league, only behind Bayern Munich at 21. And you can thank goalkeeper Frederick Ronell for that, as the Dane lands in the 99th percentile in goals against per 90, save percentage per 90, and crosses stop percentage per 90. He's supported by a back 3 as Robin Kinoche excels in long passes and ball recoveries, and Diego Leite shines in shot-creating actions and aerial duels. And then there's Danilo Doecki. The 24-year-old Dutchman has incredible attacking output, scoring 4 goals and assisting once in 12 Bundesliga appearances, in addition to ranking in the 98th percentile among center backs for tackles in the middle third, 94th for total tackles won, and 92nd for challenges lost. His performances made him one of 2 Union Berlin players that were nominated for February's Bundesliga Player of the Month. The second of those players being Christopher Trimmel. Union's captain has been with the club since 2014 and is arguably having his best season yet, leading the team in assists with 5. And it's not surprising considering the right wingback sits in the 96th percentile for crosses per 90, and 88th in key passes amongst fullbacks. And the player he's targeting with those crosses is none other than American striker Jordan Pefok. The 6'3" giant partners Becker and sits in the 93rd percentile for aerial duels won, scoring 4 and assisting 4 this season. And lastly, we have the midfield 3, where we find 2 irreplaceable names on the team sheet, Rani Khedira and Yannick Harberer. Rani is Sami Khedira's little brother and takes after his defensive prowess, serving as the anchor in Union's midfield. While his numbers don't jump off the scouting report, Union fans will tell you he's the key to covering the back 3. Harberer is the attacking-minded midfielder as evident by his 5 goals this season. He arrives late in the box to get on the end of chances and strikes the ball with some of the best technique on the squad. And the man in charge of fielding the starting 11 is Urs Fischer. The Swiss tactician sets his team up in a 5-3-2 in defense, rarely veering out of shape, ranking dead last in interceptions. I call it the none shall pass approach. In attack, the team operates in a 3-1-4-2 shape. They have no interest in keeping the ball, as you can see from their 44.5 average possession percentage, which ranks 16th in the Bundesliga. Instead, they wait for a chance to counterattack and are incredibly direct, refusing to pass sideways as they rank dead last in switches, preferring to use wingbacks to whip it in for Becker and Pefok, ranking 3rd in crosses. Fischer has forged an incredibly structured formation with disciplined players that are committed to the cause. And none of this is by accident. He's been managing the club since 2018 and has overseen the rise of the Bundesliga's biggest underdogs. They truly are the Leicester City story of German football, but whether or not they win the title seems secondary at this point. What matters is the belief that the people of Berlin have given back to the beautiful game. The belief that glory and globalism aren't binary. That the best supporters don't need the biggest stadium. And that sometimes all you need to succeed is a club formed by people with a common interest or purpose. Or in other words, the definition of union. And that's all I got for today, guys. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and smash that like button. And if you want to see another European surprise, click right here. Click it if you haven't already. Till next time, everyone.